Good morning and welcome back for round 12. I know it's an early morning.
No, it's the PG Auto.
Bochum.
It's the PG Auto effect.
Welcome back. We've got a matchup coming up. Adam Hawkins versus Josh. I can never pronounce his surname.
Don't try.
Yeah.
Don't try. I think it's better that way. Well, what's his name?
He has a YouTube, right? I can never think of that either.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm useless. I haven't had enough coffee yet this morning.
Sorry, guys.
Zapdos TCG?
Yeah, Zapdos TCG,
That's
I think
the
it's called. Yeah.
And so we have a matchup. It'll be ADP versus Green's Blacephalon, if I'm correct.
Interesting. I think it's also Green's ADP. So,
interesting.
Yeah,
So
it's going to be the version that
Battle of the Greens.
always wants to GX.
Now, these two players are not really people who need introduction as we get into the
Let's just look at their lists.
I mean, just look at Adam's accomplishments, right? Like, he
shiny.
just kind of does whatever. And the thing is, like, he noticeably had a breakout season a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Well, not so much a breakout, but like he's like the guy who made Mali Europe's thing.
Yes.
Like almost single-handedly, it felt like. If people like, damn you. Like every time he turned up to an event, it was just like, well, I'm just gonna go play some Mali.
Yes.
And do well, and it was like, maybe his Mali's good.
But interestingly, today...
Turns out it's Adam's good.
Yeah. Who would have guessed, right? But turns out today, he's not playing that. On the other side, we instead have Joshua, Vanoverschelde, I believe. And look at those achievements. He arrived at the finals with the baby Blacephalon Greens, actually. He brought that deck to such a high level, actually, at that tournament. He lost just the finals, I think, against Omnipoke. Shout out to him. And with the Picarom. But look at that. Look at those achievements. They're all very impressive. And also, he's one of those people in the community that we should thank because they keep also all the community alive. At the same time, this is going to be, I think, an interesting matchups.
Wait, so looking at this, like, it's always like interesting when we see like the top and the latest have like a cluster of like recent events that are kind of close together, because it kind of means that like they're in a format which kind of suits them.
Indeed.
So like the pace of the format, the decks they're up against, they know the matchup spreads really work nicely for them, and this is kind of what we're seeing with these. Like you see this in like, this is why I like having that feature of like when their tournaments were and like when they've done well, is it kind of gives us a really nice indication of you've got this format read like a book. You look at the prize cards.
Joshua starting. Look at that, 3 bikes in the. He does not know how to learn how to drive a bike. And look at that. Joshua, I think it starts already with a ultra space and a greens. So that looks pretty safe setup. And actually, Adam, I think he's playing the version with the birds.
Well, that would be the guess, because there's no reason to have a lightning energy in it otherwise.
Maybe I saw before the high tables a Reshikrome version with the ADP.
Oh, interesting.
Very interesting. Yes, exactly.
But we're seeing. Like, so the players have to walk past us, go up on stage, and I was like, "But why?"
Why?
Because this is one of the things with ADP is it's quite a linear strategy, right? But also it really falls down if between the GX attack or any time before the GX attack. And just after GX into the
because it means
attack.
No energy acceleration. People don't play that ends resolve, which is fair because this card is 6 cards. We saw some play at the international, but it didn't do like very well.
That was one of the first cards I cut.
Yeah, it was like a stronger below the bar event for yourself. And I think right now the best way to play is like that. But people have tacted wait and see hammer, Heracross, and those are all cards that make the ADP suffer a lot.
So we're waiting now on the lists.
Yes.
We haven't had the lists yet.
We will probably get them very soon, but we can guess. I'm pretty sure Joshua went with an updated version of his Paris, which was before actually Cosmic Eclipse dropped.
And the biggest card that he would have gained from that are the access to the Poké Dolls.
Indeed.
We saw that actually yesterday in the Pidgeotto version.
Such a good card.
This is a deck that wants to buy a couple of turns and kind of get ready to go, and then just go 300, 300. Cool, I'm going to go take a break. And this is looking an aggressive start.
Yes,
going greens into Welder Fiery Flint means that next turn he's going to have a fistful of energy.
Bam, bam, bam.
Probably haven't, he can attack at least next turn.
Yes.
And kind of says to Adam, right, go find something that's not Victini.
Yeah.
And going to bench it. And
if I have
probably going to blow it up.
Yeah. Obviously, Adam has a really good start, the Victini with the victory sign. That's seen a lot of play in Japan, I think. But after that, it's sort of like it didn't have much success. I saw an early version with like Mono Keldeo and Victini, but people now with the ADP, it kind of resolves the problem of what if you Heracross me? What if you wait and see hammer me? I actually have victory sign that's gonna just accelerate my energy. Also, it's a single prizer. and playing those big Pokemons, you don't really care if it gets knocked out. So we're looking for Adam's deck.
It's an early tag call for...
Yeah, I didn't see any birds, but I'm pretty sure there are in there. Why would you have an electric energy, as you said, and tag call?
Yeah, so...
How many times have we thought of this card?
It's a deck that single-handedly creates the engine for decks with access to things like the tag supporters as well. So we see straight away one of the tag supporters, Cynthia Caitlin.
So good. Draw 3 cards.
Discard a card to draw 3, but also recycle a supporter, which in these greens decks is really nice. Because like the first few turns, you'll go greens, 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 ideally, and you have to kind of get another greens back late game to find a part you need.
That's rough.
There was no fire energy in that, right?
Does have a power plant to break the stadium, but
you can just manual attach to the ADP.
That's so good.
I think he's got 3 catches in hand.
Yeah. Obviously, playing green allows you to have those. Ooh, reset stamp. Always good against greens.
Well, again, so as soon as they greens for a welder and a flint, it's just like, oh, okay.
So Adam could actually dig and, you know, waste those Pokegears, waste that tag call, and just use the catcher to draw. Is that a good play? Maybe, especially since Joshua only plays the Blacephalon, maybe one Blacephalon GX. But if the opponent plays also stalls, the dolls, I just call them stall because you play the stall, and that might actually be very relevant, so we'll see. And as I was about to say, the green exploration, that allows you for 5 or 6 gust effects, which is great.
Well, and it's an early stamp for Adam. There was some discussion of like, of course you have the stamp. And I'm like, well, it's a green deck. You've always got to stamp the green decks. It's the rules. As we go, Adam's hand is otherwise really flat and got nothing going on. He can tag call again next turn for another supporter, but oh, is he just green? Like he
has welder.
He has welder and energy and
just
greens.
Throw everything.
Just drew back into it, right?
The Fiery Fleet too.
He basically drew the same hand.
What? I drew also green, which didn't have before. Oh my god! He just throwing it there.
All of the fire energy.
Oh my god. Yeah, we'll get the list soon, I think. So we'll look how many energies there are. Yeah,
and so the Fiery Flint getting 4 energy with the welder. I don't think he now has the custom catchers in hand though. Oh, like, there's no great catcher. So without the great catcher, I don't know if he can kind of get the ADP.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
If he can get the ADP this turn, Adam just goes, okay, game 2.
Big oof. Welder. 2 energies.
2 energies on.
3. Let's see what is there. Fire. Heat Factory. That's going to generate more energy.
And another flint?
No, I think that's a Fire Crystal.
Is it a crystal?
Yeah.
Oh, in that case...
No, it's a flint. It's a flint.
So, okay. And he has a crystal in hand too.
Oh my goodness gracious. This deck. Pure gas.
Okay, there's a doll. He's just going to play the doll.
He's actually doing the right thing. He first plays the card and then puts it on the bench. Well done, Joshua. I see you play a lot of PTCGO.
Wait, it's one of those little things, right? Like when you're on stream, there's the added pressure of everyone watching you. Like, I'm going to do this as technically correct as I can. Place it.
Nothing you can say. Man, let's see Joshua here. Touches also energy for turn because that was the one from the turn before.
I mean, you might as well just KO this for TD, right? Oh, it's just free. You've got the crystal in hand.
He
hit another Blacephalon on his prize cards there.
Adam right now needs to pull off a miracle.
He can custom catcher something. That's literally his turn.
He does have 2 Pokegears and attack call. Let's see what he can go off here.
So here you just take 2 tag supporters, and then you can hope to gear into your greens, which you really need this turn. And
so there it is.
Thin out.
Catalan and another ADP, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that's a statue art. I think that's the best alternate art.
It's actually one of my favorite alternate arts.
So beautiful, so beautiful. And also, that's the one that appears in the movie, I think, in Detective Pikachu. There's actually the statue that you see there.
Oh, yeah, there is.
Yeah.
I actually need to get that on Blu-ray. I really want to get that on Blu-ray. Yeah. I really like that film. But greens, there we go. So again, sequencing, right? Thin out the misses.
Exactly.
And then try and go for the hit with the Pokegear. So just fairly straightforward. This is like level 1 sequencing.
Yeah.
Like take out things I don't want.
Sequencing you don't think about.
Yeah.
Like small things.
That's a lot of different types of energy you've got there.
Yep. You know, that's also the problem. He missed the turn 1 attachment. He did have a metal energy. Obviously playing what? Now we can just get the lists, by the way. He plays 4 different types of energies. Obviously, that puts you in that situation. You do have the energy spinners, but if you don't draw them, that's problematic.
Yeah, it also means you can't do the nice, cute things. Like, they're all basic energies, which means you can't do the cute things, including the Guzmahala, to guarantee your special, like a second turn attachment.
Indeed.
So it makes kind of getting the combos to do the GX attack a bit harder.
And I'm just looking at Joshua's list. It's so pig. Like, it's literally 4 off everything.
Yeah, it's just a super clean list, right?
Oh, goodness gracious. It's nice. It's nice. That means it fits everywhere.
So,
so beautiful.
The card that's worth talking about as an inclusion is the one of Pheromosa, which I believe is the one with the free retreat.
Yeah, exactly. You just need it for that.
So it's literally just going to be putting in so he can search it with Ultra Space, so that when he gets KO'd, it's a free retreater he can just use as a pivot. It's not there to do any damage.
20 damage?
Well, wait, actually, he could actually beast energy, fire energy to get the...
Maybe against the Cal. Well, you don't really need it for any meta. But in any case, it's style points if you do. So we see a reset Sam from Adam's side. I do like this.
Well, Josh had a enormous hand at that point.
He needs to prevent this knockout. If he doesn't, it's trouble. So now we're going to probably see the Jax. He even can go for a catcher on the Blacephalon in the bench.
Yeah.
And I don't think he plays a switch. Nope. No switches here.
No, so it means that he has to have Welder 2 energy. And then also draw a load of energy.
Yeah, and Adam is right now. I think he has a green left in his hand or something. So he's still in a pretty good spot. Let's see. No, it's the same thing, Catalin. So he just discard whatever he draws, and so I think as we see here, Adam Hawkins has the Molter Zapdos and Articuno. Yeah. Do you know how much damage does that do?
210, I think, base.
Yeah, the Jax, like with the 4 energies.
Jax is 170 to 2 bench.
Oh,
170 to 2, I think.
Maybe I think it does like 100 or something.
It's 110. It's 110.
Moltres, Articuno, Zapdos. I think it's 110 to 3, but I'm not sure. We'll have it now coming up on screen. Anyway, so.
It's a deck that I haven't tested because I don't have the birds.
I did test it with like just proxies because I don't have the birds as well.
So we have the crystals, we have the beast ring, which is no good right now.
Oh my god. Does he have the
he has the retreat. Okay.
I think
does
he
he
has also
have
Fiery Flint in it.
Does he have 6 energies?
Of course. Wow.
Oh, whoa. No.
All right.
Don't do that.
Don't test this man. Don't test this man's faith.
Don't do that to the poor man. He can flint them. Oh no, no. It's not crystals, right? It's 2 fiery flint.
Yeah.
So.
But that still generates enough energy.
No, it is another crystal.
Adam is laughing. Adam is like, well.
He stamped him twice into the nuts both times. That's insane.
Yeah.
So, I mean, sometimes this just happens to you.
You know, this deck in early game has so much gas. If he even had the acrobikes, we probably would have seen even more nutty things, but that's already enough nuts, I would say. But look at that. Look at how much pressure that deck can put. Like, and especially since we have all these setup decks that have tag teams, this deck can perform really well. Obviously, you have some decks that you can struggle with. Pickerm, for example, because you can shot both of your Blacephalons that you have in play. And since you play only, 6 attackers, that's going to leave you without anything. And you do not have the bird support, which means Stamp is going to make you have nightmares.
Yeah, well, this is the thing, is that in theory, if Adam hadn't... Okay, Adam's used 2 stamps. He has, in theory, got a 3rd. But if he had another stamp now...
Me's Mesh.
Stamp down to 2.
Yes.
Much stronger than the other option. He plays 3. He's used 2 already.
Ooh. Can he get it?
I'm not entirely sure.
Same thing, Callie. 3 cards he needs to draw like everything.
It has to be. It has to be stamped.
That's anything, but
at this point,
that's literally nothing. Yeah, it's just cooking.
Yeah, that's the end of game 1. Adam just deciding, you know, I don't think this is gonna go anywhere for me, which is fair.
Yes.
I mean, you don't often get hit with that level of high roll.
Yeah.
Because so the Blacephalon greens. Okay, he had the turn 1 greens into Welder and set himself up. Then he got stamped, drew back into it. Got stamped, drew back into it.
Just you're protected from stamp. Like especially green decks, they have so much gas early game that if you give them, and they need already, like green is sort of the pivotal point of the deck. It does have, like, once you have other cards and a green exploration in your hand, that's it. Like, you're just gonna use all of your cards that you have in hand already and maximize their utility with that green exploration. So many tools they can have access to. So much damage that the deck can output. I think it's a really good meta call. So shout out to Joshua for having this very smart play, I would say.
Yeah, and actually, so we had a greens list, we had a non-greens list, a birds list on yesterday, right?
Exactly.
Of this. And one of the biggest differences compared to that list is the energy count. It's actually, it's 2 higher because I think the one yesterday wasn't playing Beast Energy and also playing 14 basic fire, not 15. And the thing is that actually really helps you against Stamp a lot of the time. Because realistically, to win games, if you draw 5 energy,
just draw the energy.
Like if the Blacephalon, if you have a Blacephalon set up, draw 5 energy.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, and exactly yesterday, I think his name was Tony. He was just short 1 energy. If he had 1 energy more, he would have won against Tord Reclef, stealing his day too. But in any case, he had a really good run overall. And he did play the bird version, which
is true.
I think has a worse matchup against Giratina. I think generally this deck, like Blacephalon, has a pretty bad matchup against Giratina because of those spell tags, because, you know, they can just set up a big Pokemon late game and stamp you. I would say overall, it's... Giratina is probably what shuts off this deck. But we saw before, like the meta composition of today and yesterday, and we saw that there weren't as many Malamars. So really good meta call, I would say, from Joshua.
Sure.
So right now his hand is, I think, 2 Blacephalons and 2 Acrobikes. So even if he does not have a supporter, he will see 5 cards. Drawing a card and 2 Acrobikes. He might get something.
Yeah, it never hurts to kind of get a little bit of speed off the line.
Exactly.
Though Josh's prize cards are 2 crystal, but that, again, so
and 1 Blacephalon as well.
So we say that 2 crystal in the prize cards is actually not a problem.
Since you play 4.
No, but also the first knockout you're actually taking, using just flints, and then you take 3 prize cards, take your crystal, go, I'll just get those back, thank you very much, and do it again.
Right away, delivered to you. So he starts with a Victini Adam, but he goes first, so he will not be able to victory sign turn 1. But if Joshua just keeps this hand, he decided to start with the Blacephalon GX.
Yeah, it's an inclusion that some people... is he chosen to, or is he got no choice?
He has another
Okay. Well, here it knows that like if Adam opts to try and go aggressively into this, the Blacephalon, if you can put pressure on so that Adam doesn't have time to GX, and just has to like attach, hope to like lose a 1 prizer, go into the ADP.
Indeed.
This way means that the Blacephalon doesn't get 1 shot, which is kind of, again, Joshua's game plan. He wants to have a little bit of time to set himself up to get those handfuls of fire energy to go, right, 300, 300, thank you. So it's actually fine to go, well, cool, go ahead, take 3 prize cards. I don't care. I've got my own stamp. I might even be able to go take 3 prize cards, stamp you. Well, now you've really lost the game.
Yes. I think Adam understood, like, first game he didn't have many tools to work with. He just used the stamps before, and sorry about it. We're just having technical difficulties. We resolved them very quickly. But overall, Joshua in the first game had basically everything. The stamps that Adam did basically left him unscathed, and Adam just was able to not do much with the cards he was given. So let's see. Right now, just looking for his deck. I think he used Ultra Space, filling out his deck simply. He does get the Pheromosa. Interesting.
I mean, he wants to have a pivot, right? So he's like, okay, if the Blacephalon goes down, I just promote the Pheromosa. He doesn't have any other switch options, so it's kind of his only pivoting option. He obviously has the Blacephalon. He only needs to set up 1 at a time. So this way he's able to kind of set himself up. So...
Let's see where this goes, because Joshua as well has a Blacephalon in hand, so I think he needs that. And obviously, if the Blacephalon GX gets knocked out, that enables the B-Strings, because Joshua does play 2 B-Strings, which are just basically... Oh, now the stream is back. Sorry, guys. And the Blacephalon GX gets knocked out, but that means you won't need to Welder in your turn. You can just Green Exploration, and guess what? I do have Welder, because I'm just going to B-String and get the energies also from my deck. So Acrobike, it does get a green. That's all you want. And another Acrobike.
So Acrobike and a Flint.
And a Flint, yes. So
I mean, this is basically the dream.
Yes, exactly. You do get the green, and if next turn we'll probably just see the GX from ADP, and also if the Blacephalon does get knocked out by the ADP, he does not care, because that was going to give him 3 prizes, and Adam will just still need to take 2 knockouts.
Yep.
Which is the same amount of knockouts he would have need to take if the GX was active. So he does get a Welder of the Green's Exploration. I think he's saying, I'm going full safe. I do not want to take any risks by just taking another green and maybe B-String. And I think he just wants to get another Fire Flint. Yep. Just more energies. That's all you need.
I mean, so this deck is basically like most. He's just playing a theme deck, right? Most decks you don't want to draw your energies. This is like the one deck's like, no, I do. I want to draw all of my energies, please.
Just draw them.
It's not quite a theme deck. It's not 20 energies, but
well, it's kind of there. 16.
Yeah,
we're near.
It's not far off.
Also, I think Adam plays 14, but he does have energy acceleration, so that's cheating.
But also playing 14 different types also feels like
that feels more. That's
a team deck.
If we were to swap like the energy counts in these and add some more random Pokemon, this would be a team deck. So Joshua goes for the GX. That Burst GX, I think it's called.
Yeah, and see if you can get that energy.
I think it flipped 1 energy. Am I right?
Was that the energy? I don't know if it was. I think it
was
because he's taking it.
Skill. That's pure skill, guys.
I mean, sure, you can also use the Persephone GX in this matchup, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So you can just if you welder, you can get your 300.
250 in a turn.
Yeah.
And if you have a Beast Energy, that's a knockout too.
Exactly. So there's multiple ways that he can manipulate the board to get to the KO.
Adam probably knows this.
Well, this turn you don't promote that ADP.
You might need to though, or because next turn you're gonna do 150 to that Blacephalon, or you can maybe go and chase that Blacephalon.
No, but this is the issue with the ADP decks, and the biggest weakness they have is if they go in and GX and then immediately get KO'd. That's it. The game's over. So actually, there are a lot of games where you have to go, look, I'm going to have to not GX. Like, you have to be passive and go, look, 150. That deals with the Blacephalons. So it's actually one of the most difficult parts. Like, people say ADP is very easy to play, but it's also very easy to lose with if you walk into those 300s. And, like, this is a deck where you can kind of read their hand.
Yes.
You can kind of work out what they've got there. So you don't want to just give them the 300. Make them work for it.
Yes.
Because it means that, okay, if they had to work for it, there's nothing you could have done. If you literally just gift them the 300 for the KO, well, at that point, you're kind of just throwing the game.
Yeah. Adam obviously plays 1 copy of the Choice Helmet. I've seen people play even 3 copies of it. And that's very smart because the Choice Helmet just gives you the opportunity, even against the Charizard, for example. That's not going to be enough.
Yeah, so we see another early stamp. Let's hope it's not as good as Joshua's previous game stamps.
Indeed.
Is what Adam's thinking. He's like, right, does he always draw the nuts if I stamp him?
We'll see about that because it may happen again, and if it does, we will be all very sorry for it. Obviously, stamping a greens deck, as I said at the beginning, is not the best idea because I always have all the resources at the beginning. It's always good to stamp them against free cards, but this deck is so fast that it does not care. And obviously, the only resource it uses are energies, which are going to get back anyway with the Fire Crystals.
So we see Victory Sign from Victini.
Energies.
The ADP on the bench now powered up.
So does Adam actually want to go for that?
Well, so he has to try and set up numbers in a way that he can use maybe like the bird trio.
The birds, yeah. Because Formosa has 110 HP as well, so that's
so you can kind of take a couple of knockouts, but the only issue is that the Persephons have 120.
Yeah,
just too much, and there's no way to go like 10 to both.
Yeah, it does not play maybe a Mew or anything to like set up the damage.
Yeah, that'd be the only thing you'd need, like is a one of Mew just to like
put 3
damage counts down.
That means no greens, so or no Roxy build. The Roxy build is not for every deck.
Yep.
And Tinachomp can use it very effectively because of Mysterious Treasures that they play anyway. But the ADP deck, I don't think it can do that. They could get the ADP, but how do you get the birds? And that's so many cards that you want to, to secure for other things. And because the main thing I think about this ADP deck is the birds have 300 HP. With a helmet, that's 330. That's almost as Snorlax.
Yeah, but the downside is it's 3 different energy types.
Indeed. And we saw that the game 1, how that came back to bite.
Yeah.
So Joshua right now just attaches her energy. He has a green in hand. He did not draw as nuts as before, but it's still pretty good. So there we see the green exploration just setting up. At the same time, the more green exploration, the more stamps that Adam plays. That means 1 less green exploration that he could draw.
Well, but the issue, again, like we said, right? Like, if you're stamping them into a 5-card hand, the list appears to be consistent enough that it doesn't care. You put them into a 5-card hand, they're more than happy because they'll find an out to the energy, to the, to whatever they require immediately to win the game that turn. Or, like, keep putting the pressure on, like flints and stuff. Like, they'll have outs to it. And as a result, stamping them early can be good if you know that they probably have the nuts anyway.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter. It really just delays Welder by a turn.
Gets a catcher. Interesting. I think it's just saying, listen, I want you to go on with that ADP in the active spot. If you do not, I'm just going to chase it.
Well, yeah, so he might genuinely be looking at here. I'm just going to discard both energy from the from a Blacephalon.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
From the GX, discard both from the GX, take the prize on the Victini.
Yep.
He doesn't need the prize on the Victini. And then just go, right, you have to hit me for 150, but I have basically everything I need.
Yeah, that's
okay,
the
so Burning Confuse, sure.
That's fair. It doesn't need the energy, and he always wants the energy on the Blacephalon as well, because that's just stockpiling damage for later.
Yeah.
That's an easy knockout on a bird or on anything else,
really. Double Flint, and I think Welder in hand?
Yes, he does have a Welder for sure, and I think a Fire Crystal. I think it might be a Fire Crystal, Reset Stamp, Fire Flint, Energy. Welder.
So here, Adam's just going to double-check his discard before playing his Cynthia Caitlyn.
You know, Cynthia Caitlyn is a really good supporter, but it's sort of slow. Drawing 3 cards early game is not good. And late game instead is so good because it gives you a supporter for the next turn. Mid game to late game, it's an amazing card. But at the same time here, it just draws you 3 cards. So Tackle from Adam, I think is looking for that Articuno. I think that's his gateway to win this game. At the same time, it's just 110 as we said. So it would draw him 3 prizes 1 turn and put 1 Blacephalon to 10 HP. But that's not enough, I think, for now. We'll see what Adam can pull off. He's obviously a very experienced player, as we said. So I'm pretty sure he has a plan already. So ADP, Touch and Energy. He actually wants to go for a full ADP game, which I do enjoy. But yeah, let's see what he goes for here. I don't think he will go for the GX, because that's also the ADP with all the energies.
Yep. As he's just... Right, oh,
that's
here's a bird.
Chip, and Ultimate Ray, 150. So at the moment, Joshua has 3 energies on board. That means 2 energy more, that's a knockout with the Blacephalon GX. But I don't think he wants to do that. Sorry, 3 energies more, and that's a knockout.
Yep.
I don't think he wants to do that, because then those energies go to the Lost Zone. And if they go to the Lost Zone...
Yeah, you can't crystal them back to kind of chain them for the big knockouts later on.
Exactly.
Hitting 300 back-to-back is not too hard for this deck. It's 6 energy, but... that's like 2 crystals worth, but you do still need the 2 crystals worth to be in discard.
Aye.
Versus, what's your alternative going? Crystals for more, and hope I still have enough in deck?
Well, so Ultra Space, he has just 1 more Blacephalon, I think. Yeah, they're taking it out.
Just take out the dead draws. There's also, don't forget, there's the copy of Victini Prism Star. So actually, if you dump enough energy for your first knockout, you can take the second knockout using the Victini. Though actually here, the numbers, it would require all of its fire energy in the discard, which means none of them could be attached to the Victini, which makes a bit of an issue for the Victini.
Yes, it does. But in any case, Victini, like if he does it at a certain point, like maybe after knocking out this ADP, that means more energy is in the deck, which is after all you want, and that just means more damage that he can dish out. Because for knocking out an ADP, you need 6 energies. For a normal Blacephalon GX deck, would probably struggle to do that because they play.
Well, you have like 2 Naganadels, right? So that's 2 turns of attaching to the Naganadels, plus discarding from the Blacephalon, assuming you're not
also
in a
the
beast
energy
ring.
count. Maybe they play. Once they had this very high energy count, like 16, 17.
I think it's around 11.
Yeah, right now they lowered it down. No, it's probably something more than that. But in any case, it was lowered, which means that they can struggle with taking out those damages, especially if they knock out, for example, a Victini early game, because maybe they're forced to. They don't want them to set up, and also these big Pokemons can even overcome a deck like a Blacephalon GX, but a baby Blacephalon does not have that problem.
Yeah,
it's Fire Crystals.
It's because you don't require the bench space, especially in this build. Like we do have the other version which has the Pidgeotos, and the bench space becomes an issue, much like the GX version. But it doesn't matter because you're just drawing your outs to energy because you can throw them from hand. Versus having getting them onto board is difficult. So Welder, he has no switch options. So he actually has to manually retreat this Blacephalon.
He could obviously go for the burst, for the damage burst, but
it looks
I'm
like
not
he was
sure that's good.
going to go for the retreat. Does he have? Well, so he can just crystal it back, and he has 2 flints in hand. So he definitely has a way of getting the KO.
So many.
So he can just retreat. Like he can get. If there were 8 energy in deck, he can just go grab those. But
2 energy in the discard, and he will probably
fire
flint just 1.
Flint one of them away, right?
Yeah, smart call. So there we go. He's thinking about it. I think he wants to take the knockout this turn. I don't think there's a point for not doing that. Especially this deck is so aggro. It could be considered like a red aggro deck because it just wants to go face. Like there's no thing. Smork. It's pure Smork.
Yeah. Well, it's just going, right, cool. My game plan is I do 300.
Yeah.
Or 250, or whatever like large number I need to declare every turn.
Yep.
If you want me to do anything else, no.
No.
No, thank you.
I just want to attack, man. I don't care. It's not even. No, this is just pure aggressive. Like, it doesn't have any other option to win games. I think it has a really bad matchup against Stall, for example. If we have time, I don't know. But probably I would guess at least one of the losses from Stall, considering the popularity of it. Or probably the games does some time break. But it's like,
Josh,
1, 2, 3, 4,
1, 2, 3, 4. That's not 6. Okay.
Well, now it is. Look at that. Me smart.
I can count to 6.
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and also you just need.
And he has a couple of spares just in case.
Yeah. I think already. No, he didn't.
No.
He just retreated. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There we go. Fireball circus in your face. Donk.
Bang.
Me smash me big bonk.
So now we see.
So Adam can now stamp him.
He's just double checking about the attachment. Adam's also just going. Wait, did you attach? I don't remember if you did. And it was like, no, it's fine.
If Adam says a stamp now, he has a good chance to win.
Yeah, and this is what it comes down to, right?
Maybe not win, but slow him down aggressively.
Well, no, because like if he stamps,
green exploration. That's a stamp for sure.
You know, it's a 2-card hand and a knockout, denying the setup Blacephalon. It requires a welder.
Yeah, he needs a welder, and then off of that, he needs like 2 fire crystals.
Exactly.
Then again, that may happen.
Well,
we could have it.
He'd have to get welder into exactly 2 energy.
No, it's 2 of the 2 fire crystals.
Well, he needs a full value welder, really, as well. So.
Yeah, exactly.
So
welder, 2 energies, 2 fire crystals, double stab is like,
I'm going to stamp you,
first.
and if you somehow...
Because he could get a green. If he doesn't get a green, it's not too good. Power plant as well, starting off dodge, but not that it matters.
Yeah.
He did draw Blacephalon off that, but it's just to stop him from thinning out his deck. So Ultimate Ray takes the knockouts. 2
prize cards drawn because...
ADP.
No, he hasn't used the Jex card. He hasn't used the Jex tag, so it's just the 1 prize.
Not yet.
So he's just going to have to chip through this way.
There. Fair enough.
Hope to basically run Joshua out of options.
Also,
in terms
this will
of
skip B-strings if he's playing it right now. And the beds also get shuffled back in the deck.
Exactly, so you can actually hide 300 HP's
Victini will go on the active and will have a retreat thanks to the energy. Very smart play here by Adam. And obviously, but you know, you can be as smart as you want. But if Josh decides, I am going to do 300 to you this turn. He did draw a green exploration on Victini, I think. Oh.
He was like, oh yeah, it helps if you...
Free retreat, Pheromosa.
Okay, so draw for turn.
And a fiery flint. Jesus, somebody stop this man.
Okay, so he can just...
Green exploration, green expo.
Greens for crystal.
Or what do you
crystal
think
welder.
You should get? Welder,
and then you can bench the Victini.
How many energies does he have left? I think there are 6 in this discard, 1 in play, and 3 more were added right now because of the Blacephalon knockout. So that's 10.
Yeah.
So he has 5 more energies if we count it correctly. 5 or 4 in the deck. He might go even for a Victini, to be fair.
Yeah.
He has time.
The Victini, I don't know if...
but not to bench it now.
Yeah, because it could get custom catch it out.
And also the Molters will knock it out for free.
Yep.
Which is not going to be good. Just was reading it.
In fact, the Moltres is actually so with the spread from the Bird Trio's attack, it's Blacephalon. It would actually be basically game, right? It would go down to 1 prize card left for Adam because it would go Blacephalon, Pheromosa, Victini.
Yep.
Take 4 prize cards, and put Adam only a turn away from winning, as opposed to several turns from winning.
Yeah, Joshua is thinking right now.
He's going to have to greens, but he also knows. So again, this is the downside. You know, Adam has the stamp because he took 2.
Joshua should take a choice right now because this can be considered.
No,
like
I think it's fine.
Down. Okay, green exploration, that's fine. So let's see.
He's pre-considering his option.
Also, if he gets the Beast Energy, the Beast Energy also removes 1 energy like that he needs for the Arxis, the Algan Palkia. So Joshua is just thinking right now, should I go for setup? Should I go for welder? And he obviously knows that there is a reset stamp in Adam hand because he just took it off the greens, I think.
Well, it's also you might even consider just taking 2 cards you can play this turn.
Yes, and he could also take.
He could take Heat Factory Crystal.
Yeah,
and
I do like that.
Because it means that when he gets stamped again next turn, he actually has more outs to draw some more cards.
I wouldn't even use like the effect of the Heat Factory.
No.
Just leave more fires if possible.
Exactly.
And green exploration, that's fair. I think that's the last one. and possibly maybe even a doll. Yeah, I do like the doll.
Yeah, sure. Just deny him a chance to take the prize card.
That forces him to do the birds.
Yep.
Which you can't choose if it gets shuffled or not.
Yeah, okay,
you must shuffle it.
Yeah, he's going to go for the Heat Factor instead. Basically plays around the second stamp in Adam's hand.
Yes.
Which I like that line a lot. It just means that he has a slightly better outs.
Adam does play 4 power plants, so if he does have it, I think he played like 2 or something. Yeah, we'll see about that. Obviously, power plant was the best supporter, the best stadium up until now, but then Chaotic Swell came out, and I do feel like Chaotic Swell for certain decks works so well.
Yeah, for any deck that doesn't really care about the stadium, but like spot or like actively wants to deny an opponent's stadium, and there's a lot of very powerful stadiums. Chaotic Swell.
He just indicated the Victini was like, wait, I don't need to bench this because that's one more prize for you. And Joshua is just like, well, I did my thing.
Yep.
Now probably just put the doll. Wait, did he take the doll in the end?
No, he took Heat Factory greens.
Yeah, he took the Heat Factory, you're right.
So he's basically trying to set himself up to go around things, but he's like, well, I'm not going to play that.
Yeah, Adam has I think Faba in his end, but Faba does not work with the Prism stadiums.
No, because they prevent the effects.
That's
okay, so he's okay.
5 from this card, the last greens.
Okay,
that's so aggressive.
He needs his attachment. Well, he's basically saying, go like, I can top deck now.
Yeah, he could go for Bursting Burn.
Yeah,
I don't despise that, but probably Adam will just retreat.
Yeah, he can just retreat.
But that still forces him to like, probably not. No, because you want to knock out the Framboesa with the GX from Articuno. Let's see what Adam can pull off here. Adam could also just catcher the Blacephalon. So it draws 3, 1 fire. 1 fire crystal. Wow, if he had a Blacephalon with 3 energies, that would be a knockout.
Yeah.
But unfortunately,
just attach.
Yeah. And if Adam is able to capture that, he does have a switch and does have that. And also needs to remove the stadium, absolutely.
Well, actually, so just double checking Adam's list.
Yes.
There are no. There are the 4 custom catches, so he needs exactly greens for the custom catches. Really.
Yes, he does have the green, but I don't know how many catches he played. Do you remember?
I don't know. I don't think he's played all 4 yet.
So greens, there it is. He's up on a power plant and a custom catcher.
He must already have one in hand.
One? Yes, he does.
Yeah, he does.
It's the last card.
So this means he can take the KO.
Ooh, that's good.
That's a really huge turn.
Adam is smiling. Joshua as well.
Yep.
You know, when 2 players know each other or know their level, it's always funny to see them.
Even if there's like high stakes games, like Adam beforehand was like, "Oh, this is such a bad matchup, man! Like, why did you put me on?"
But he still went up with a smile on his face.
Yeah.
Custom catcher. He's like, "Yeah, I'll take that. Thank you."
That's mine. I'm gonna. Well, also, this is a little bit of like right. You're shuffling. I'm gonna save us some time because this is gonna go to a game 3.
Yeah. Unless Joshua draws the nuts, which he might. So let's see. Welder and energy. No.
Careful.
Well, he was going to draw for 10, so...
Yeah.
Still.
You need to make sure you do that.
If you do the Lily Pocket Doll thing, then you must do this thing as well. So, Beast Energy and an Energy. So let's see.
Okay, so...
Fire Crystal. That's not much.
No.
Can he work here with something?
He's too many turns away right now. He has to basically draw into the welder. Trying to play the beast energy and missed a few times, but he got there in the end.
I really despise people that put the energy on top of the Pokemon. No, that's not how it works.
Yeah, you can't see what's happening.
Be tidy. What Pokemon is that? Is that an energy? Are you? Oh, Faba! Faba! No! It's gone.
Well, that's actually massive because it meant that he now can't even have the welder out this turn. Well, he still he has to welder into
switch and
into another energy, but
the burbs are flying.
It's 3 prize cards.
Bink bonk. He's saying there are no Blacephalon GX shenanigans for you. And the Blacephalon with just 10 HP left. The flare attack from the Victini will knock it out.
Style points if you take the KO with a Victini.
He was about to lost zone there. Yeah, it is a shiny card, but it does not go to the lost zone.
Yeah, considering the rest of the cards is like basically raised. I can understand
Welder.
that. Oh, he got it.
No. Can he do it? Can he do it?
No, he needs to hit his great catcher. I don't think he can get enough cards in hand.
Yeah, I don't think the mathematics works for... I mean, if it does a Fire Crystal, maybe... Oh, no.
No.
Those are not the cards. It does have a Pokédoll, but... Yeah, that could work, but it would have to Welder again next turn. He cannot use the big string.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's see.
Doll,
yeah, just play until the end, because you're playing anyway a single price attacker decks.
Well, also, like, you won game 1.
Yeah.
If you can squeeze out a little bit more time in game 2.
So, no supporters as well.
No, so there was no welder there.
There is, I think, just 1 welder left in the deck.
Yeah, there's not. He's used a lot of them already.
Yeah, he's all of the greens for sure. He used a lot of the welders as well. B-string is shut off, and he's just saying, go. If you have a Fion or something, or Skechers, that's it. Which I don't think he has, so
no,
just
but he can, Cynthia Caitlin, go get himself
like
a greens, so he can guarantee himself catches if they're still in deck.
Draws free. You know, I never understood why the background of green is blue.
I know, it's very confusing.
I think that's the Japanese name, right, for it. I think it is named blue, but then we translated it that way. Whatever. So let's see what Adam goes for here. Yep, he can bench again the Moltres because there are energies again back in the deck. And, well, the Flare from Victini will normally knock out with the buff, this Lily Pokédoll, but it doesn't work here.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Adam needs to be careful. Adam is treading lightly anyway. He did see that he failed the Pokegear, so it was like...
Yeah.
Well,
it kind of tells you that there's probably no Welder going, so it's pretty safe to bench something.
There's a bird. Energy on the bird. I think a safe play is just to leave that... Oh, no, but he needs to knock out...
I think that was just dump the spinner.
Should shuffle the deck, but... Oh, and Dusk goes for the victory sign.
Yep.
Interesting. Oh, I top deck the Welder! Stop this man! No,
you see the little smirk on Adam's face, but
it's like...
No way.
Oh, boy.
No
Maybe he's smirking as well, because he was like... Well, I did the right play, because I could have knocked out this turn. Let's see. So...
Well, it's fine because you can just put the Pokédoll on the bottom of the deck, right?
Exactly.
But, I mean, great. That was a Welder for 2 B-strings, but it's a bit late.
I mean, does he have 2 more catchers, Adam? Because if he does, then, yeah, he does not need to, like... I mean, he just played safely and he did the right thing. But if he does not have them, then... we'll take a look for this card right now. So, 2 catchers and went very fast. I think there were still 2 catchers in his
Pretty
deck.
Sure there were.
Let's see. We'll see now. Green Exploration.
1.
Und 2.
There we go. So 2 custom catchers taking game 2 of a game that was apparently unfavored.
Yeah, exactly. But Adam was able to pull it off. He played it really well, and we saw Stamp against green.
Well, so but it was exactly that thing early on of like he could. A lot of people would go, cool, I have Metal, Water, and I can retreat into my ADP.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and GX. But that would have walked into a 300
exactly.
With no setup. Instead, he took an extra turn of going, okay, no, just establish, calm, go in, take the KO when we need to, save the GX attack so I can take multiple prize cards, so I can skip around B-strings.
Yes.
It was a very smart, he's kind of saw 3 or 4 turns down the line, which, naively speaking, people say that ADP is a deck that you're like, okay, right, got to just put my cards down.
Just, you know what you're doing.
Like, well, people, it's like draw, attach,
draw, attach,
GX, win.
Ultimate Ray.
Yeah, that's it. It's actually a lot more than that when you get to these things of going, well, sometimes you don't have the time to Ultimate Ray, and sometimes it's correct to just go, whoa, slow down, and just make your opponent have things and make them miss.
And Joshua mulligans, incredibly so, with 7 Pokemon in his deck.
It's quite likely. I mean, there's only 8 in Adam's.
And Adam should put thank you. Adam will put the prizes right now. Let's take a quick look at them. And I think, the prizes in this match, a lot of energies, but I think he can work with it. He plays 14. There are, he does play 4 water energies, so it will be okay. And what he mostly needs, I think, if he's going second, and he did start with a Victini, he's just a fire energy, which he does have in hand. So let's see if he actually started with it. He does play 4 copies of it, because he wants to maximize the possibilities of starting with a Victini. So Joshua is at the second mulligan. And, you need to take into account when you're playing a single prize attacker, or maybe a green deck, the time you will mulligan in. Because that might bring you to a lot of ties, especially if you're playing only 4.
Yeah, but 8-2-1, he's clearly managed to kind of keep, there's only the 1 tie in that.
Yep. So, the sheer power of the deck compensates for that, I would say.
Yeah.
So
and it's also, it's a deck that can genuinely win in, 2 turns.
No basic. He's shaking his head. He's like, I would like to play.
But also, so we saw this earlier on in the Pikarom era, a couple of mulligans, and then just judge.
Yeah.
That's not an option for Josh. He has 1 reset stamp. He kind of wants to save that if he can for slightly later on.
Me and Kim thought about the judge build. I wasn't fond of it, but he's just said, listen, I just want against green deck to judge them turn 1, and they're going to have less cards to work with. And that's a smart call.
It's actually, people have gone for green stamp, power plant, prey kind of strategies a lot at the minute. It's really trying to kind of deny your opponent, let them go ahead and then just lock them out the game. If you can do that turn 1, by just playing Judge. That's fine.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a lot of fire energy in the price card.
Well, lots for his standards. It's just like,
for most people, that would be quite worrying.
Ooh, Adam
but
did start with the fire, and he does have a tag call as well. Did Joshua decide to let... yeah, Joshua was like, yeah, I'm going first. So let's see. Joshua started with a lot of basics and also an ultra space, so no donking happening here. I think he plays free copies of the ultra space, so he's always like, I'm gonna get my basics. This game will not end in weird and quirky ways. And look at that, Victini and Blacephalon. Does he have a support? I think I saw a welder. Yeah, there is a welder. Oh, wow.
Here we go. Turn one welder.
2 energies. You know, I was fond a lot of the Blacephalon GX.
There's a gear I saw in there.
Green and a poke gear. This man.
So you can just chuck that active.
Yeah, and he has also 1 catcher in hand.
Yeah, he's very near to potentially getting a turn 2 double catcher KO the ADP.
Yep, exactly.
Which is
if he gets a beast energy, if he gets a beast energy, that's happening because he will get the fiery flint, and that's gonna be. Oh no, actually, it will be 1.
He needs to catch it too.
Yeah, exactly.
So he needs quite a few cards from the.
So Pokemon communication. So it might not happen, but it's still this Victini may be knocked out, which is not too relevant, but we'll see. So Adam, Pokemon communication. Interesting card to play in this deck, since you play only 8 Pokemons. How many copies does he play? 1 copy only.
Yeah.
Fair enough. You want the Victini sometimes. It's similar to playing the Pokemon communication for the Volcanion.
Yeah.
Back in the days.
It's the equivalent of having something like, like the Cherish Ball would be you kind of go to because like, well, you're playing GXs, but actually the card you need to search most often is Victini, and the only way to search that currently in format is Pokegear.
Then
so
Quick Wall will be...
Yeah, Quick Wall soon.
How you doing?
But right now, it's like the only way to search it.
Yeah. Adam went for a fire energy and I think a metal energy.
Yep.
And he's just attaching them there. That's fair enough.
He just set himself up.
And next turn, Ultimate Ray will take a knockout.
Yeah, it actually really depends now on Josh's, like what if Josh is able to find a way to KO, because in this game, we know Crystal's actually not enough, is it? Because he hasn't got anything to in the discard. So his greens choice is...
Let's see.
He doesn't have double catcher.
No, it just has 1. It just has 1. He could Pokegear, but he goes for an Ultra Space. Fair enough. Smart choice. Gets 1 less Pokemon, that's 1 less target.
Yeah, I think that double check looks very much like a... What are we taking? Like preemptively going, well, I'm about to greens, so
what I would do...
What's in here before I play this greens?
I would set up another Blacephalon for next turn, possibly. He plays green. Let's see, probably a Welder and a Fiery Flint. Or a Hit Factory. You know, sometimes you just want to go. There's no stopping. Fiery Flint. Obviously, if the Fire... Like... What would he need of the Hit Factory? He would need a... let me think. Oh, he discards the Victini.
Yeah, so it's the same combo, but this lets him draw more cards in a way that means he's more likely to get there. With the Victini discarding, it's actually not... Like, it's probably a very good card in most matchups, but this is one of the few that you can't hit those numbers, so
you're not going
it's actually irrelevant in this to kind of need to try and hit. Putting energy back in deck is the relevant part, but you're actually not taking a KO with it, so you may as well discard it.
Also, taking a look at the clock, it's just 4 minutes 30. I think the only one that has a chance right now to seal off this game is Joshua, because of those tag teams. You know, they give you free prizes. That's the cost for having like 280 HP. But at the same time, Adam is unlikely to bench him out. Wow, look at those energies. Is that enough?
The only thing he's missing in this hand is a catcher.
Ah, damn it. So near.
This
one is like, oh, why are you not?
Hand.
You know, just play the Fire Crystal under the other custom catcher. Yeah, look, it's a custom catcher. They have similar arts.
We're not having people cheat on stream.
Oh, sorry.
It's not okay. Can't encourage this.
Well, you know...
So
if they don't see it. Oh, he's actually doing it? No, okay.
No, because he's got the crystal anyway, right? So by having the crystal anyway, he's in a position where those 2 are free discards.
Yeah. So let's see. Adam found another. Oh, and he's got to use the Hit Factory. Draws free. Oh, there's a lot of energies. I don't think you want those in your hand.
No. He can at least get rid of the stadium.
Oh, reset stamp as well. But does he have another basic? He does have the Victini, but that's not the basic.
Yeah, you may. So the stamp there's a bit of like a short debate. Like, there's nothing to attach to.
Oh, that's not good. He would have needed one of the burbs in his hand. Before he used the tag call, No, use the communication.
So he's just going to take the KO.
Yeah, that's fair.
And
but
hope that Josh doesn't have Welder, Flint.
Ooh, look at how the tables have turned so quickly. Adam puts an energy on the. That's fair, but.
So
he wouldn't need. Josh right now needs a Welder and maybe a Fire Flint. That would be enough. Maybe drawing an energy eventually, or a Fire Crystal.
He's just.
So first of all, draw 5, sorry, and then decide what you put on active. So Green Exploration, no Welders there. I would just promote Double Cephalon without the energy. Maybe Blaze, you have 3 energies in your doing the 60 damage, just saves you on energy. Yeah, let's see. Also, you have the doll. You could discard the energies and the doll. Discarding energies with this deck is not bad because you can just Fire Crystal. I saw a player once do retreat Welder to draw more energies and set up another Cephalon, and he drew the Fire Crystal that needed to win. That's a very smart play.
Well, it's like when Crystal is basically 3 more, is 150 more damage.
Yes, exactly.
Every single time you draw it.
Yeah.
So that makes a massive, massive difference. So
let's see what he goes for. I would say just a Welder and a Fire Flint. But Adam has kept this strategy for all the games of stamping your opponent. Just stamp, stamp, stamp every turn. It does have a Malulan as well, so you may save off those energies. I mean, so the damage. Let's see what he goes for. Welder and Fire Flint, obviously. Has, I think, 3 energies in hand, or a Beast Ring, I think I saw.
Yeah, well, this is the thing, right, is that this game, because Adam's missed the bird early, he has, and there's actually no way of playing around it even if he had the bird. Yeah. Adam can't play around the Beast Ring right now.
Exactly.
Which means that he's forced to go into a Beast Ring turn, and as soon as he does, it's very likely he takes the KO.
I think he has a Beast Ring already in hand, Joshua, so he doesn't even need to Welder. Oh, no, he doesn't.
So he manages to hit one of the fire energy using the Blazer.
He does have a custom catcher. So what did he do? He draw a green.
Okay.
Wow, that's so relevant.
He really needs another Pokemon.
Yeah. Just probably Tag Call and another green, I would say. I don't think he needs anything particular right now. There are just 2 Blacephalons. And, they have the same amount of energies. Your opponent has this, what is it called? The Welder in hand. So he's going to set up 1 next turn. Maybe get a stamp even.
So
Adam is thinking.
Yeah.
What if I just let myself get knocked out and then stamp him 2? I think that's a better way to deal with this.
Yeah, his plan is like, right, so I get the KO.
Great potion.
He needs to... Well, because he knows that he still needs to get... Yeah, this is fine. Because this way he gets another Pokemon to attack with.
And he plays it. I like this.
Stamps.
He doesn't want Joshua to have the initiative.
As we're a few seconds away from time now.
Yep. And so Adam right now needs to play the game of... Listen, if you announce the attack before time... Oh, he announced it. So... But he's still in the effect of the attack, so it will not be...
Yep. So it goes turn 1 on Josh.
Does the judge know it's time?
Your time has been called at the table.
Yeah, okay, cool.
So time at the table.
Out. So we are at turn 1.
So Josh is turn 1 now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I think they got it now.
Yep.
So the only one that can steal off the game, as I said, it is Joshua. And right now he just drew another, I think, a Fire Crystal.
Yep.
And actually drew greens, but he does have a Fire Crystal.
Yeah, so he
Fire Flints.
can get access to things, but...
Does also have the Beast Ring.
Yep.
So he doesn't need to Welder, since he has no energies right now in hand. Joshua is, Beast Ring, there it is.
I'm just trying to work, so he can take the KO. So whenever you get time, it's always like, okay, right, is there a way either of these players wins?
Yep.
Right? So for Adam, the answer to this is now no.
Nope.
Because he doesn't have enough, he can't bench Joshua out.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's his only win condition because of how the prize cards work.
Seeker. Oh, I remember that card.
So instead, he is going to...
Green's Exploration. I like that.
So he's going to now play to basically not lose.
Yep.
And Joshua still has an option for going, well, 3 prize cards, please.
Yes, exactly.
And
I think Adam's play next turn is just to stamp Joshua. He did not take the greens, right?
I don't think so.
He did get a Symphony Catalin. Adam is looking at the skies like, please, don't make me. And he does have he will also probably just put the Victini on the active, just saying, listen, I know you can win. Just take this, knock this out, and let's all be happy.
Yeah. Well, again, so it's at that point where you go, well, my turn is just that and stamp. Because if you don't have the Great Catcher...
Ooh, but Joshua only has 2 energies in the deck right now.
Oh, okay. So...
He needs 5.
He really needs his crystals.
Yes, 5.
Yep.
So 1, 2.
And he needs a crystal now.
Yeah, he does have the greens to get it.
So greens.
But what about next turn?
Yeah, well, this is the game now. Well, this is going to be double crystal, right?
Yes.
And then welder into another crystal?
Yep.
Like welder for one for another crystal or something along those lines is the only option he really has.
Let's see.
He might even want to go greens.
Reset stamp.
He might go stamp crystal.
Spicy. I do like that. Adam is nodding. Is like, yep.
Well, because again, it means that it basically means that Adam now doesn't have access to his own stamp that Joshua knew was coming.
No, I think. Oh yeah, he might have been.
Like so, well, there's a second stamp in hand as far as I remember for Adam.
Yes, exactly. So Joshua right now is just saying, listen, I know I can win. I'm gonna draw 3 cards off my prizes. If they are the cards that I need, that's gonna be game.
Yeah.
Also, he has welder to draw.
There's a couple of fire energy in there already, which means that.
So there's going to be 5 discarded by... He can still welder, but I think that's too much of a roll. Especially considering he has no more energies. Yeah.
So it'll be take 3 prize cards. There'll be at least 2 fire taken.
And look at this. I'm playing poker. 5 cards poker. Bonk.
And that is it. So Victini is promoted.
Let's look. I think he drew 2 of the acrobikes and 1 fire. Good cards.
So tackle, just looking through, making sure there's a way that, you know, again, it's at this point, right, okay, this is my last turn of time. I physically can't actually take the prize cards.
Same thing, Catalin. And the
so let's just chill out, make it nice and easy.
A tie is not bad right now. That would put him to 8 times 3. That's 26 points. So he's still in range if he wins the next 2 to get into top. So we'll see about that. Let's see how this continues. So this, oh no, that shouldn't be turn 1. That should be turn 2.
It might well be that. Well, there's the table judge who may well have kept their own set of time.
Fair enough.
So maybe.
Oh, also it doesn't matter because Adam will just say go.
Yeah.
Next turn. So let's see. So Victini on the active, probably would stay there. He has 2 birds, 6 birds in total, busted. And I think he will just say, go. Your turn. I did not draw the stamp. Do you have it? Do you have it, Joshua? Don't put me on ice.
So, acrobike.
For a catcher.
Well, there's part 1.
For a catcher.
Acrobike number 2.
Fireflame doesn't bring anything. And the neither does.
No, he can greens. If there's another, is there another greens in deck that he can greens for another crystal?
He has a green in hand, I think.
No, he has the welder in hand, if I remember correctly.
He's checking. We can't see if he's shaking his head, but he does have a green in hand.
Okay, so
he top decked it. Just draw it.
So he might be able to go into crystals.
Yeah, Joshua probably realized. Oh no, but wait. Oh no, he didn't get stamped. So
no, so
those 2 energies in the prize as well are hurting.
Yeah.
He wouldn't have thought of that, but even if it's a small fraction of all the energies he plays, those are 100 damage.
So he needs a total of 6 energy to discard.
Can he plus Cephalon inject this? Probably not.
No.
He is. I mean, no, because Beastring does not fetch anything.
No.
So let's see. Joshua, what are you gonna do, man? Let's have the green. He's like, do I have it? I don't think it.
Yeah, he's just trying to work out if there's a way of getting enough of them. I think he's. Well, yeah, there's no way of sequencing this to have a small enough hand to custom catcher to draw.
Yes.
And I hope that that's part of the combo.
I would have done probably just welder for 1 and hope that you do not draw the nuts, but I don't think it's happening. So green exploration. What is he gonna do?
He could just style point and really knock out this Victini.
Ultra space. Interesting.
So maybe the Cephalon GX is the line, but he can't attack with it now because he's greens.
He was 1 turn short because next turn he would have just burst GX it. Yeah, that's the Cephalon, but what is that gonna do? It's like Fire Crystal, but you can't welder to it.
Yep. He's already greens this turn. Just manual attach.
He's like
and KO.
And Adam is gonna be like,
and
well,
pass.
Yep, that's it.
Yep. So because that game went to time and Adam basically we've managed to squeeze out a draw at the end, and we're deep into time in the hole. We're going to take a quick break and be back with you shortly.
See you then.